Hey guys, and welcome back to Okami. Yeah, we're starting with Richie doing a bit of a cheeky save, and what do you know? The Dark Frost is still here, so well, I guess we're heading to the mountains today, aren't we, Rich?
We will indeed be. I just thought I'd speak to Kai quickly, because, you know, she's just waiting here, and I feel bad because she's just standing outside in the snow, but I suppose she's sort of used to it.
Are you trying to call back to when you had to stand outside recently in the rain and you've developed a bit of a tickly throat? Is that what you were angling at?
Yeah, basically. I mean, the thing is, it's part of the job. It's one day. But, yeah, like, considering I seem to, like, contract colds very easily.
Ah, yes. Ooh.
It's just like, for God's sake, because you can tell my voice is a little bit hoarser than it is normally. I mean, it's sometimes quite hoarse and scratchy anyway, but like particularly so.
Anyway,
but these things just happen. Anyway, these are the resurrection beads, which are not the best weapon in the game, as I mistakenly said before. I was just like, oh wait, no. But these are easily my favourite design.
Holy shit.
For the resurrection beads, because I mean, just look at them, they're beautiful, and also they're just a lot of fun to use.
I'm looking forward to seeing them in combat then. Oh man, that was a thumbnail shot and a half. That was.
I tried my best, but really, actually, no, I wasn't trying at all. That just sort of happened, and I was just like, oh, sliding away.
Well, Okami is one of the most #aesthetic games of all time, and I'm not just saying that to be funny or anything. It literally looks gorgeous in almost every shot. I guess future-proofing a game through a good art style, you know, goes a long way.
Indeed it does. Actually, saying that Okami is one of the most aesthetically pleasing games out there also leads me on to a point that I've made numerous times throughout my time on YouTube, of generally whenever the games as art argument comes up, I would always say that Okami is a very good example.
Yeah.
Because visually, it's like art. I mean, literally that is the whole point of its art design.
Yeah, yeah.
It's meant to look like Japanese artwork. But I would say also in terms of how it deals with everything, in terms of its narrative and all the lore and stuff, it's very artistic in that respect.
Yeah.
And yeah, I'd just say it's a really good example.
This area, since we're talking about art and whatnot, reminds me of a certain area in Journey.
Oh yes, actually. You're talking about the mountain, really.
Well, the crashed ship as well just kind of put me in mind of it.
Oh god, yeah. I mean, I suppose it's the whole thing of snowy mountains and blizzards.
Yeah, man, I love me a good snow and or ice level, and it's an important thing to note that is actually a distinction. You can have a snow level with ice in it, you can have a snowy ice level, but you can also have them separate as well. Like, you can have a snow level without any ice physics and whatnot at all.
Indeed. So basically what we're going to be doing throughout this part is exploring Ezofuji, which is the... So we're not actually on the mountains of Ezofuji, but we are at the base of them. And there's a lot of stuff that we can collect now, and I would definitely say collect them now rather than doing it later, because we're going to get a lot of plot happening. And the result of that is you're going to make it a lot more difficult for yourself to get certain things.
Okay.
But I shall just leave it at that. Now, Ezofuji is actually a real mountain.
God damn, this place is fucking gorgeous. Sorry, go on.
I know. So, in reality, it is called Mount Yotei, which literally translates to... Well, its Japanese name is Yotei-zan, which translates to Sheep Hoof Mountain. And it's an inactive stratovolcano located in Shikotsu-Toya National Park in Hokkaido.
Ah, okay.
But it is also called Ezofuji or Ezofuji. And the reason for that is that Ezo is the old name for the island of Hokkaido.
Okay.
And also it very much resembles Mount Fuji. So the name Ezofuji basically means Hokkaido's Fuji, which I think is actually quite a nice little touch. It is apparently also known as Makari Nupuri and Mount Shiribeshi, but obviously this game, it's called Ezofuji, therefore we're going to call it Ezofuji.
Man, the one thing I did not expect when we started recording this was mountain lore. A very underappreciated branch of lore, I think you'll find.
Yeah. Well, you see, you're talking to the guy who says he loves trees and spent an entire... Well, not an entire part of Luigi's Mansion Dark Moon talking about trees, but did spend a large amount of time talking about trees and clocks. So...
That was hard to get through at times, if just for the fact that it was our very first playthrough, so we were scrambling to come up with things to talk about.
Yeah, and also it was not at the best time in the world for me, if I recall correctly.
Yeah. What's going on with her headpiece there? It looks like two birds strapped to a mask or whatever.
Funny you should mention that. It is actually two birds. Well, it's not actually two birds attached to a mask, but that is what it is meant to depict.
Okay, right. Why is the Twilight Realm suddenly attacking, may I ask?
Because it's evil, and this is major important lore. So the darkness attacked the Celestials, and because they attempted to escape on the Ark of Yamato, but the monsters were there and killed the Celestials.
Christ.
The ship crashed on Earth, and the monsters came forth into the world.
Okay, so we're dealing with aliens now.
No, we're dealing with celestial beings and darkness and evil.
Yeah, so aliens. You said something crashed on Earth, so that means aliens, extraterrestrials.
Well, if you want to call well, I mean, some of them are extraterrestrials, but I'm talking more about the Celestials are not, because they are from heaven.
I'm just teasing, mate, but don't forget Kaguya, who went back to fucking space.
Well, this is true.
Got him.
But yes, one thing that I want to point out is, apparently, no, those are actually two owls on her headpiece, because why not? But it is very important that you just keep them in mind.
Right.
Because there is a very specific reason why she has two owls on her headdress, one being silver and one being gold.
Oh. I'm currently watching this on a busted CRT. Like, it's the only one I have at a pinch, and I'm upgrading to a flat screen for the first time soon. And yeah, one looks brown and the other looks white to me.
I mean, to be fair, yeah, you are sort of right in those colorations. But they're meant to be gold and silver, for reasons that will become clear eventually.
Man, that weapon you're wearing now is a little bit gaudy, if you don't mind me saying.
I mean, yes, it is a little bit gaudy, but to be fair, it looks good.
I want to see it in combat, mate. Get into a battle already.
Yeah, it's going to be a little while before that will happen.
Jesus.
But basically, as soon as we start heading for Yoshpet, we will definitely get into a battle there.
Okay.
So, that's good.
Interesting.
I believe that this is the location of the spring that will allow us to get Power Slash level 3.
Ooh, nice. I guess that's why there was an uncuttable rock outside to denote that fact.
Yeah, basically. Although that said, I don't know that I have quite enough yen for it at the present moment in time.
Well, someone just had to go and splash out on what he thought was the final weapon of the game.
Well, no, look at the beads, and they're amazing because they're awesome in combat because they're rosaries. So, I'm gonna take that. And also because we get so many weapons. It's unreal how many weapons we get in such a short amount of time.
Oh my god, 120,000!
Yeah. So I think I might have just enough.
Let's see, mate, let's see. You gotta do this 3 times if I recall correctly.
Yes. So, I think I needed 36... No, well, no, 360,000.
I was gonna say, yeah, even I could figure that one out.
And actually, I did, because I had 370,000. Oh my god.
Wow, we haven't seen this guy in a long time.
I know. But finally, our Power Slash is as powerful as it can be.
Oh, yeah.
Now, obviously, theoretically, I could go gallivanting around the world to cut everything down with this. But of course I'm not going to do that, because that would be daft.
Arigato, Mr. Richie-Man.
I would much rather, since we are in the north, and there is going to come a point right at the end of the game where it's going to make sense to sort stuff out with that, like go on a world tour before we finish the game. That's when I'm leaving all of that till, because we've got important plot coming up very shortly in the grand scheme of things.
You gotta stop teasing me, mate. I need the plot now. Now!
Plot's not coming now.
Oh.
We're in that exploration part.
Ooh, I like the geode thing, by the way.
Oh, it is cool, isn't it? Yeah, I'm so close to fully maxing out everything with praise. So close.
Is there any secrets waiting for us on the crashed ark over there?
There's major plot waiting for us on the crashed ark. And that is why we are hardly going to be seeing much of it for a while yet.
Fair enough, mate. It seems Endgame territory, if I'm honest.
You would indeed be correct in that assumption.
Well, I'm tying together theories now. I'm lining up, well, lines, and going by what THD told me about the final boss. Yeah, I can kind of put 2 and 2 together now.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, it is kind of obvious where a lot of the lines and arrows are pointing. Because we know that the Celestials try to escape on that arc, and that is where the darkness is coming from.
Mm-hmm.
So, at some point we're going to have to investigate the arc, but we do have a few things which are of a bit more importance at the present moment in time, i.e. the fact that Talika is missing,
and, you know,
and she headed towards Yoshpet, and also the fact of the darkness is coming over the north, and everyone's going to freeze to death. So we kind of need to blow up the volcano.
I was just thinking about feeding the sheep, honestly. That's pretty important.
I mean, yes, also feeding the sheep, but they are our immediate concern rather than our primary concern, I feel.
Man, lots of clovers around here.
I know. I think at this point in the game, they just want to give you as much praise as you can physically get, because there's a lot of clovers, there's a lot of things to bloom and collect, and they all give you a large amount of praise. I mean, look, I spent a load of praise only a few minutes ago, and I'm already halfway to getting that final total sorted. So yeah, you pick up praise so quickly in the latter half of this game. So, if you were struggling before, this is really the time to pick up that praise.
It just strikes me as the game trying to get you ready for, like, the end game and whatnot.
Oh, definitely, because, I mean, if you haven't reached the point where you have upgraded your health as much as is possible, and your ink pots as much as is possible, this is the time where you are going to need it.
Nice.
Well, yeah, I just wanted to be a dick to that boulder, so...
What did that boulder ever do to you?
It wasn't a nice boulder, therefore it needed to die.
I like that boulder. That was a nice boulder. Anyway, moving on. Crash.
Now you'd think that that would, you know, completely send Ami smashing through, but evidently not. This ice is, like, really super solid.
Pretty thick, if you ask me. Oh, it's nighttime. I can hardly tell the difference. Except I can, because everything has, like, a very eerie glow over it now.
Yeah, it goes from an orange tint to a blue tint.
Man, that was green to me. But even more like the Twilight Realm.
You're not going to get the Twilight Realm out of your head, are you?
Well, I can't. When I see, like, green glowing lines on one, and that's what it puts me in mind of. It's not like an insult or anything. If anything, it's a compliment.
'Tis true, 'tis true. Apart from the Twilight monsters, because they're always a bugger.
Whee! What a lonely, lonely perch. No wonder these things haven't been fed much. What are monkeys doing on an icy mountain, might I ask?
Honestly, I have no idea. It doesn't make much sense at all.
Did they just die?
I mean, to be fair, I think they sort of were dying of cold.
Okay.
So, very depressing. I mean, to be fair, the north isn't meant to be this cold.
Yeah, it's pretty hostile right now.
Yeah, obviously it's been struggling for a long, well, quite a few weeks at this point, I feel, because of the demons that have taken over the mountain.
And also, you know, we may have been doing a good thing by taking out the likes of the Spider Queen and Blight and Gold Nail and so on, but the darkness is, I guess, like energy, and it can't be created or destroyed. I guess it can only be turned into another form. Double F in science, go with me on this. And so it all went back to the source, which obviously is the Ark. This is where, you know, people live, so it made a shitty situation, as it were, even shittier.
Indeed, and Tom, what you're talking about is I believe, the conservation of mass.
There you go.
Essentially, it's the whole thing of you can't create something out of nothing.
Yeah.
So, by that same vein, you can't turn something into nothing. So, if you destroy something, like a person or whatever, then they become something else, effectively. Whether that be kinetic energy in the air, or an explosion, or what have you. Everything has to change into something else if anything's going to work in the world.
Aw, he's hungry.
I know, he's super cute.
Alright, a few more chests and we should be just about done in this part, honestly.
Indeed, this is the last bit of Ezofuji that we have to explore. And I would say that bear and that stray bead are ones that you could quite easily miss if you don't realise that this outcropping is here.
Right, yeah.
So, I mean, if you never bought the fog pot, then you are never going to realise that this is up here.
What does that do again?
The fog pot allows you to warp.
Ah, okay.
Using the origin mirrors. And so that is how you get up here, and really how... well, it's the only way to get up here, so that's always fun.
I'm sure there's, like, situations like this in other games, but for the life of me, I can't think of any right now. So you just have to take my word for it, and, yeah, I guess that'll do us for this part. So this is the bit where I talk slowly, so as to give the ending a bit of time to go through the motions. And okay, now I will sign off. Goodbye. See you later. Bye.